right. Welcome, Uncle Joe. Joe Bradley, why don't you introduce yourself?
I am Joe Bradley.
What is your rank and branch? What was your branch of
I was
service?
in the United States Army, Honor Guard, 3rd Infantry, at Fort Myer, Virginia, and Sergeant.
Oh, okay. And so let's go back to the very beginning. What inspired you to join?
I didn't have a choice. They picked me out of, I don't know how many hundreds of guys. You couldn't have any blemishes. You had to be 6 foot, and you had to have real good posture.
Okay.
And it was just luck of the draw.
Really?
Yeah.
So you were enlisted?
Yep.
You
I was
were
enlisted.
drafted?
No, I was enlisted 3 years.
Okay.
And they picked me out of my advanced infantry training class.
Oh, okay. So you were taking a class at the time.
Yeah,
Okay. Where'd you go to high school?
Albany High.
Oh, okay. So was that part of the program? You took a class there?
No,
No? It was after after high
I
school?
just didn't decide not to go to college and went in the Army.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So that was pretty much decided for you. Were you afraid at all? Did you have any fear about it, or were you just kind of like, okay, I'll go at it?
Just, it was better I was going to go to Vietnam if I didn't go there.
Right. Okay. So that's what the scenario was at the
Yeah.
time. Yeah. Okay. So talk to me about. So you were down in Virginia.
I was at Fort Myer, Virginia.
Okay. So what did you do there?
I was on a Presidential Honor Guard, and I was on the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier
Right.
for about a year.
Okay.
And then I went to, still in the same Honor Guard company, I went to the United States Army drill team.
Okay.
And we did arrivals and departures for foreign dignitaries.
Oh, right.
I was there when Kennedy was shot, and I stood on his grave site as a guard different times. And that was when it was just a little internal flame. And there was no big wall or nothing there then. That was in whatever happened, about 63, 62.
Right.
I can't remember. It was a
So
lot of years ago.
right. I understand. Going back down to Virginia though, like what did they train you to do there?
Just trained you to march.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was it.
And kind of be
And,
properly poised and
Oh, yeah. And we had our own presses in the cellar, and we pressed our own uniforms, and we had 2 pair of shoes, 2 pair of boots. They were kept spit shined, like they looked like patent leather.
yeah.
And they were every day you wore all of them,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. And did you have friends there? Like, was it like a camaraderie kind of
Oh,
thing?
yeah, big camaraderie.
Yeah.
A lot of camaraderie, a lot
Yeah.
of parties.
Yeah. Everybody liked hanging out with each other.
Yeah.
How many were in like a class?
There were no classes. It
No.
was just you had squads. I was a squad leader of 12 guys, and you had 4 squads in each company,
Okay.
and there was different companies
Okay.
in the battle group. There was like 6 companies, I think.
Okay. And each one of those would be kind of
Had different things, yeah.
okay, so that they would send them to different things. So like you were saying that like one group would go if a dignitary was coming in, go to the airport and the kind of like the lineup scenario that we see.
Yeah, and like when you see it on the tomb, they just had a wreath laying ceremony. We did that.
Right. Yeah, we'll
If
get
you're
there.
yeah.
Yeah. So what was your first assignment, if you
My
will?
first assignment was the drill team.
Okay. So doing the drill team.
Yeah,
And then did you go anywhere with that? Like did you have
we
to
traveled all over.
You did.
Yeah, we were on a lot of different, all these different TV shows where
Okay.
the drill team was there.
Okay. And this was during the Vietnam War.
Yeah, it was just starting.
So you were kind of like, I mean, these drill teams and such were kind of like the face of the military really here in the US, right? So you're doing like these shows, and did you get like interviewed? Were they asking you questions? No. Purely there for just like presentation.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And so what was your first big kind of memorable experience with that?
I think probably when Kennedy was right in front of me.
Oh, yeah?
Like this close
Where were you?
where we are.
Yeah.
We were at an arrival at the White House for, I don't know who it was at the time. So all these foreign dignitaries would come in. I can't even remember, it was so long
Sure.
ago
Yeah.
which one it was.
Yeah.
It could have been de Gaulle, I'm not sure.
Uh-huh.
And he walked right, because I was like in the middle of the first rank, because you're set up by height.
Uh-huh.
And he walked right by me this close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was a pretty cool moment for
Yeah,
you.
I saw Jackie and the kids off in the distance and stuff.
Uh-huh. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, where were you when he was shot?
I think it was later in the afternoon. I was just getting ready to go home because I was married. I was
Yeah.
living off post at the time.
Yeah.
And they said we couldn't go nowhere because the president was shot.
Oh, and you had to kind of stay
So I had to
put.
stay put for, I think I had to stay the night
Uh-huh.
in case there was any repercussions of any kind. And then we were allowed to go home the next day,
Yeah.
the guys that lived off post.
Yeah. Was it kind of a sad time for everyone?
It was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know, it was just hard to believe.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially because you had just seen him.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Were you in any way at that time specifically, how did you feel about the Vietnam War? How did you feel about patriotism, about America? Should be there, shouldn't be there?
I thought we should be there.
Yeah.
I would have went if I was told to go without
Right.
any hesitation.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Did it stir up feelings of like patriotism doing all of this?
I always felt patriotic
Yeah.
being there.
Did you have any sort of, did you fly a flag at the time? Did you have one in your room? Did you, was it like a thing that you had to like do any kind of special like presentation with the flags in the morning or anything like that?
They did that before I got into work.
Okay. Yeah. They put it up.
Reveille in the
Yeah.
morning,
Yeah.
Sometimes at night, when it was closing,
Right.
you'd start to go out the gate and they'd start, playing it. I
Taps.
can't even think of the name of it, but
Yeah.
lowering the flag, you had to
Oh.
stop and standing toward the flags,
Right.
and you didn't see it, but you had to salute
Right.
that direction.
Right.
Then you could go on home.
Right.
Like the cars would stop, and you'd have to get out of the car and do that.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, it was very patriotic.
Yeah. Yeah. And did you continue to feel that way kind of throughout your time in service and then afterwards?
Yeah, because it was a special thing. There wasn't many people that were chosen to do that.
Right, exactly. So, okay, then let's back up again. As far as like after meeting Kennedy, what was maybe some of the or seeing Kennedy, what was maybe like the next big kind of thing that you
Well,
did?
when he was assassinated, standing guard on the eternal flame.
Yes,
They
okay.
had at that time was just a little square like this room.
Okay.
Before I don't even have been there since they put the big wall up and stuff. And a lot of dignitaries would come in after the cemetery was closed.
Oh.
Like his wife would come
Uh-huh.
and bring the kids. I remember Oscott Wright was here so many times.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
Were you ever there when Jackie was there?
yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Oh, that had to have been pretty emotional.
And different people that I didn't even know who they were, but they were
Right.
like dignitaries of some sort.
Sure.
It could be congressmen, senators. I
Right.
don't know who they were.
Right. Were you always like standing at attention? Is that how it worked? Like,
Yeah,
yeah. So you never could show any kind of facial expression, right?
no. And like people would try to get you to smile.
Would
and
they?
stuff. Oh, yeah. Especially girls. We were young guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Was it just one person at the flame or how many?
Just one.
One. And then what was like your rotation? How long would you stand there?
You were there for an hour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you walk at all when you? No,
you
just
just
stood.
Yeah, you stood at the parade rest, which is just you stand with your legs apart and a rifle out.
Okay.
And when there was people there, you'd stand at attention.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So then what after that? So that was obviously a big moment and that portion of your career. What led you to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier?
I just asked for that assignment and got picked.
Okay.
They picked us out of our company,
Right.
the Honor Guard company.
Okay.
And I did that for about a year, and it got to be a drag.
A lot.
Especially like it was cold, you had to be outside.
Mm-hmm.
It was hot, you had to be outside. They finally started to let us wear sunglasses because of that white marble. It was killing our eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
How
long was that shift?
That was an hour. You'd walk every 21 seconds. you'd change arms, right to left arms, or left to right.
Uh-huh.
You'd turn and you'd walk 21 steps. Everything
Okay.
was
21.
21 seconds. 21
Was there
seconds.
significance to that you know of? 21?
That was the length of the
Okay.
walk back and forth.
Okay.
It was like a rubber mat.
Okay. And how did that feel for you as far as like, you know, the whole sentiment behind
It
that?
was a big honor,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And that's when you had to get a lot of trouble with girls trying to make you laugh and
Yeah.
smile and stuff, talking to you.
Right.
Hey, baby, want to do this? You know? They said, if you only knew, honey. Myself.
Did you ever have you been back there since
Yeah.
you have?
Yeah, in fact, I took Claire down in the rotunda where we stayed,
Yeah.
and there was pictures on the wall. One of my pictures, I was on a picture on the wall.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, and I took a rifle, spinning it around.
Oh, doing a fancy trick.
Yeah.
Trying to impress the girls.
Yeah. Yeah, we were there. I guess maybe it had to be 5-10 years ago.
Yeah.
Claire and I stopped there on the way home from Florida or Hilton Head, one or the other. Probably Hilton Head.
Yeah, that's nice. I've never been. I need to go. I think I was, you know, partly wanting to find out more from you what it was all about
Yeah.
because a lot of people don't know, and that's why, you know, it's nice to be able to educate. A lot of our people will know, but I think, you know, a lot of people are kind of unfamiliar. Did you feel as though that was like a special honor, not just because you were chosen, but because of what, you know, the tomb meant,
Well, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
you know, and all the guys that had fallen and, you know, MIA and yeah, didn't come home. Did you have friends that went into Vietnam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a lot of guys got killed there.
Yeah.
My cousin, he got shot, and he still got metal in his back from when he was over there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So you, I mean, did you feel as though you said you would go if you were asked?
I had no choice.
Yeah, right. Were you ever nervous about that? Would they ever choose from like the honor guard? No. So you kind of felt safe once you were there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were there
Yeah. That's good.
for whatever time you had left.
Right. Okay. And it was 3 years, you said, right?
I was there. Well, a basic training was 8 weeks. Then I had to leave. I come home for like a week or so. Then I had advanced infantry training. That was 8 weeks. And that's where I got picked from there.
I see. Okay. So you did do all like the training, like you said, the advanced infantry training.
Yeah.
Was that difficult?
No, not really.
No.
No.
Yeah. Well, you were a big guy.
Yeah, you had to do push-ups and pull-ups, and you had to run 2-3 miles every day.
Yeah.
You know, you might march out to a class in those trainings to like 5 miles,
Mm-hmm.
and that was kind of rigorous.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
especially for guys that weren't in shape.
Right.
You know, I was in shape when I went in because I went in right out of high school. I had been playing basketball, football, and everything,
Right.
so I didn't have a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. And so from like your high school class, for instance, you had friends that went and didn't come back.
Yeah,
Quite a few?
probably in my class, maybe half a dozen guys.
Really?
Yeah. Because we had a 50th reunion, there was hardly anybody around.
Yeah.
They died from natural causes or,
Yeah.
from Vietnam or whatever.
Right. Right.
How do you deal with that?
You just deal with it.
Yeah. It was an interesting time. You know, we talked to Tom Regan. You know Tom Regan? He doesn't know. He does the flags going up Route 9. And each one of those flags represents 10 guys that didn't come back from that. And, it's been an interesting kind of conversation that we've had between him and that organization and a couple other veterans that we spoke to. We went to the VA last year. And, with the Vietnam War being as controversial, as it was. And then, some of these guys came back and they were getting booed and,
Yeah, it was bad.
very sad, especially for someone like you that, now you've lost some buddies, it's a terrible, terrible thing.
Yeah, and it's like now it's like I'm 82, and so it's so many years ago.
Yeah.
You still think about things.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you reflect on that time in your life?
Not very often.
No.
Once in a while I'll see something on TV, or now like doing something like this.
Yeah. Sure.
And
Stirs it up.
the Veterans has a thing at the Veterans Post down on Route 9 here, way down there at the top of the hill.
Mm-hmm.
And they meet on Thursdays.
Mm-hmm.
And there's all veterans from like Korea,
Mm-hmm.
Vietnam,
Mm-hmm.
and it's camaraderie.
Yes. Very much
I
so.
went down a couple times. They want me to come back and talk about my experiences and stuff. So
Oh, that's great.
I hate to get up early in the morning. Starts at 8 o'clock.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, I don't roll out of
That's
bed till
early.
like 9 o'clock nowadays.
He's like, yeah. Sleepers.
Yeah. When you get older, that's what you got to do.
I know. I like to sleep in too. But yeah, so was somebody there watching you while you were at the tomb? Like, so was there somebody kind of overseeing you guys? So for
yeah.
instance, if you were, because you
Yeah,
were
yeah,
saying the girls kind of,
sergeant of the guard, he'd be out looking and watching.
okay.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever get in trouble or anything?
No,
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 it's kind of surprising.
not there. But I did get in trouble other parts.
Right. You had free time probably, right?
Not very often.
Oh, no?
No, there wasn't much free time.
No?
No, because once, on the tomb you had 2 days off, so that
Okay.
was good.
Right.
A lot of guys got little part-time jobs and stuff.
Okay.
But I mean, it was so strict. You couldn't drink.
Right.
You couldn't do this. You couldn't do that. That's why I got sick of it.
Yeah. But you did it for a year, you said.
Yeah.
Did you, and where do you stay? Is there something you said there, like
stay
barracks
right
that you
there
stay?
under that rotunda.
Uh-huh.
You stay underneath.
Okay.
There's like a barracks underneath there.
Okay. And they serve you food and everything right
Yeah, they
there?
bring the food out from the company, from the mess hall.
Okay.
They bring it out.
They bring it there. How many guys kind of staying together at once?
I think it was like a dozen. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It's hard to remember. It's so
Yeah.
long ago.
I understand.
But one of the things, like a lot of people ask, is how can you make so much noise when you change? And with our shoes, we had big steel cleats in the heels. So when you hit your heels together, that's where you get that noise.
Okay.
So if you ever go there, you see it on TV, you'll see that's what they do. They just snap their
Clicking
heels.
kind of thing?
Then you got to turn and you snap again.
Yeah.
And you go down to the other end.
Is it muscle memory? Would you
No.
be able to do it now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just doing it sitting
No, yeah, but I mean, like, would you be able to do the whole, like, 21?
steps.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you couldn't bounce. You had to come right just like this.
You had to be very straight, right?
Yeah, you couldn't go up and down, up and down.
Right.
That was the hardest thing to break for new guys.
Staying very straight and
Staying
tall.
Straight, tall,
Yeah.
posture.
Right.
That was one of the things. They stood you against the wall when they were picking you to check your posture.
Okay.
Like I said, no blemishes.
Oh, no blemishes on your face.
No.
Okay. What else were they looking for? Do you know?
That was
Probably
pretty-
height,
height
posture,
and posture. Yeah.
no blemishes.
Yep.
Interesting. Sure, you had to have your hair cut, obviously, a certain
Well,
way.
we had it cut it anyway at that time.
Right. Right.
And then, like, we used to, even after you got doing that, you only had like a little patch of hair on top.
Yeah.
You had like a toe head.
Yeah. So
You
do you
had
feel
white
like
right up to here?
do you feel like you got lucky? Like you feel like you got lucky being picked to do that, right?
Yeah, really. I might have got shot in Vietnam. Who knows? You
Right. Right.
know, you don't know if they would come home or not.
Yeah. Do you ever reflect about that now, thinking like, oh, maybe I wouldn't have had this family or this, that, the other thing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think about it sometimes.
Yeah.
Not all, especially now this time of life. Like I got this heart disease that's not curable, and
Right.
I could drop that any day.
Right. But you've made it this far.
Yeah, I'm
You might
living
not
every
have.
day to the fullest.
Exactly.
know?
Yeah.
And I'm not worried about nothing.
Right. Right.
I go.
Right. Well,
I've
that's
had a good life.
right. And it's fortunate that you were able to, have that good life,
Yeah.
being that you didn't, you could have.
And I raised a lot of hell for a lot of years.
You did. What else you got, Nick? Anything?
Well, like if you have any messages to share with people, like I know, like nowadays political climate is very crazy, and I think a lot of times like patriotism gets kind of left to the side a little bit, and people aren't super proud to be American. Do you have any feelings towards that or thoughts there?
Without getting political.
Yeah, no, it's okay. We don't need to. And
yeah.
we as a company are nonpartisan. We don't really,
Yeah.
but what we have found being in this industry is that with the current situations politically, people have the tendency to look at the American flag and think it is a political symbol.
That's bullshit. though.
right.
I just don't get it. I don't know. No.
Yeah. Yeah. We, because so we definitely feel as though, the American flag stands for everyone,
Yeah.
not just
Definitely.
based on, who you're voting for.
And like it seems like some people might take being American for granted because they haven't really seen war like maybe you have in previous generations. So I was curious if you have any thoughts there too.
I think that we're a lazy nation, and we get forgetful. To be grateful for what we have in this country. I mean, that's what we've had. We fought for all these wars and everything to be free. And in this day and age, it's not good.
Right.
It's not good.
Yeah. I think that's definitely a shared sentiment of those that have lived through the times that you've lived through, seeing how, difficult it can be when a country is at war and boys are being sent off, at 18 years old to fight,
Yeah.
and die. Do you celebrate Veterans Day? Do you do anything for Veterans Day?
Yeah, I usually, go to a parade. If they have a parade or
Yeah.
something, I usually go.
Right.
I always have my flag out.
Yeah. You do? I wondered that because I didn't know if you had one.
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, I got a little flag on a pole I put right on.
Yeah.
There's a holder on the side of the house. I
Yeah.
put it there right in the driveway.
Yeah. That's nice. I've never seen you wear, you don't wear the garb or anything like that. And you said you got rid of your uniform.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't got nothing. I got an army hat I bought at the PX.
Did you?
a month
Okay.
ago when I was over at the VA.
There you
It
go.
says Army on it.
That's nice. Yeah. But you don't have your old uniform.
No. No.
Just didn't want to hang on to it.
I don't know. We had so many.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
Like we were the first unit to have summer greens.
Oh, really?
Like we had dress blues, like you could see in this picture. No enlisted men had these blues.
Yeah. It's quite a fancy uniform.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
And like I said, we had the presses. We pressed our own clothes.
Yeah.
And the shoes. And
Yeah. Yeah. You were tall. Definitely well built, broad. You can,
Yeah.
See why you got picked as far as your stature goes,
and I was a handsome young guy.
Sure.
Still are.
Handsome
That's
guy.
right. Interesting. It's funny that they never did any sort of kind of reunion, such an elite group,
Yeah, no, they never did. I was surprised at that. I thought someday would do something like that.
Right. Right.
But then there was another guy that he was worked in the. He was like the chaplain's assistant, like for the cemetery stuff. It was like we did burials, and they pull the guy the caissons, and we'd walk ahead of them over the cemetery.
Oh, okay.
Because that's where we were. Our post was here, and it was a cemetery, and there was another post down at the other side.
Yeah. I
And
bet you
then-
did your fair share of funerals then, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Some of them were funny.
Why?
I mean, like some of these black funerals, they would beat on the coffins with a stick. And
Oh,
what the
Oh, you mean
hell?
people, people, the way they
Yeah.
came to, yeah. The
And then
families.
you hear somebody holler out, "He was no good anyway, the son of a bitch."
Oh, really?
Just heard some of the stuff.
Really?
And then the guys would start fooling around. He'd march along, he'd go left shoulder arm, he'd spin the rifle when you're supposed to.
Yeah.
You did it so much, it just got to be like,
Yeah.
you didn't even think about the person who was dead.
Right. Right.
I thought that wasn't very nice.
Right. So it almost became too routine where
Yeah.
it just didn't mean anything anymore.
Yep.
Did you have pride though for being at the tomb a lot, or did you got used to that one too?
Yeah, but it was, I was always proud of that,
Yeah.
And especially too, like when the foreign dignitary would come and lay a wreath, all the branches of the service would be there. And it sets up, and then there sets a step to go down. And they lined up all down the steps, every branch of the service. Then every once in a while, you'd hear a crash. Somebody pass out, a rifle would drop,
Yeah.
and they would just drag him off to the back till he woke up. Oh, yeah.
Knees
sure.
locked.
I'm sure they got in trouble.
Yeah.
You know, you're hungover or something, and you're out in the sun.
Yeah.
It was,
And you can't like lock your knees or something, right?
you just, down they go.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man.
Then there was one other thing I did was I carried the guide on for the company, and you were out in front, like
Right.
the company commander would be here, and you'd be right next to him with the guide on flag,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and that was quite an honor.
Right. You're the first one there.
I
Yeah.
had to try out for that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
And you made the cut.
yep.
That's pretty cool.
I loosened the top of where the eagle was on the top of your pole,
Yeah.
and when you hit it, it would vibrate.
Oh.
That sounded cool. They must have liked it.
Oh, they did. Were there any other, aside from Kennedy, were there any other grave sites that you like were pretty remarkable or that you participated in? I mean,
There's
obviously
some
that's the
other
biggest
people-
one,
some
but
other real people. I think another president was buried there, but I can't remember.
yeah,
And it was a huge cemetery.
Yeah.
On Veterans Day, we used to go out and put a flag in front of every single
yeah,
tombstone. And what you did, you put your foot against the stone and then planted the flag. So
okay,
they're all at the same length. And if you ever go there, you'll see the tombstones are all lined up perfect.
mm-hmm.
Everything is like.
So you
really-
participated in that. You had to do that,
Every company did that. The 5 different companies in the battle group,
right?
all the guys did that.
Right.
And it was kind of like a pain, but it was also an honor.
Yeah.
You know, to see these guys, how many people like gave their life, you know.
Right.
I could be buried there if I wanted to.
Oh, you can?
Yeah. But it's so far away.
I know.
you
Right.
I could have full honors.
Yeah. Do you want to?
case,
Is that something you'd like to have at your funeral?
Not really.
No.
It'd be nice if it was close by.
Yeah.
Like
But I mean, would you like the honor guard to come and kind of salute
yeah.
you off?
they're gonna Saratoga. They have the little thing.
Can you
but-
be buried there? Because
Yeah.
I hear that's remarkable.
Yes, and your wife can also be buried there,
Oh, nice.
but she don't want to do that. So
Oh, she doesn't. Yeah.
I said, dig a hole in the backyard. I could care less where you put me. Yeah.
But like at your funeral, like, do you want like, they do the whole shebang, right?
Yeah,
Where they
those-
come and,
those- yeah, they send a couple guys,
Mhm.
not from our unit. I
yeah,
don't know where they're from.
yeah.
They do a decent job. I've seen them. I've been to funerals up there.
That's nice. Yeah. Yeah.
So for people that haven't like visited the tomb, like what could you tell them about its importance or like what it means to you and what it stands for?
Stands for people dying for their country, dying for you and I that we can be free.
Mm-hmm.
And fallen guys that nobody knows who they are. You know,
Is it something everybody should go see, you think?
I think so. It's quite impressive.
Yeah. Do you feel like this opportunity, like you said, it kind of, giving veterans, people the opportunity to kind of share their story and, remind people, I think is kind of partly what we try to do, that, we wouldn't need to remind people like what those before us have gone through and have done for our country. It gave you the opportunity to, reflect. You got out your photos. Do you think maybe as a country we should be doing more of that for our veterans, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It certainly wouldn't hurt.
Right. Right. No, I agree. All right. Yeah. That was, yeah, I learned a
for
ton
sharing your
too. I
story.
didn't know. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. I know it was a long time ago. Probably very hard I can't remember last week, let alone. But that's a big deal. What you did is a very big deal. So obviously it's going to make a mark on your memory.
Yeah, it's something you don't forget.
Right.
You know, you